Guys, it's me, Don Icon, or Icon TV, or whatever you want to call me. Today I'm going to kind of give my overall perception of the update, what I think about it, and stuff like about the monthly wait, the wait between the last update and then this update, and so on. And I'll talk about the implicating real life shit that happened, and obviously how that kind of affected how the DLC kind of came out to be. So obviously, I'll straight out say, for a filler this update is a filler update. Obviously, people should not have high expectations of this fucking update. And obviously there's shit going on with Rockstar, and obviously just in real life, I mean, kind of like how it kind of was a pretty bad transition for game developers in general, or just people working in general. Like, they would have to work from remotely, i.e. at home. They wouldn't be able to have much resources for them and all. So yeah, that's good. Now, I'm going to obviously talk about what this update had and what it had to offer, my opinion, stuff like that. I'm going to talk all about in this video. I'm not going to talk too much about the December update. I would say a few things about it, how it kind of affected this DLC, but that's about it. I'm not talking about, oh, what location it could be in, or, oh, is it just going to be in another building? It's just Rockstar just being vague as general. No, I'm not talking about any of that stuff. That's for another video. And so yeah, so obviously this update is a filler update. So this is the Los Santos Summer Special update. So it obviously doesn't have no theme, no cutscenes, none of that shit, no brand new property, and which is cool and all. So in terms, so kind of starting off with one of the big highlights for this update, and one of the things that's advertised the most about this update, is the fact that this has the new yacht missions. Now, a lot of people are like, kind of now, these are the same fucking idiots that just keep saying, oh, have very high expectations. They're like, finally, at last, they like relieved that finally what yachts have a purpose. Like, no, they don't. These are just contact missions. This is just the same shit as I predicted. This is the same shit, just like the casino penthouse. Like, the casino work missions pay jiggly squat after you complete them for the first time. The yacht missions aren't any different. Other than that, you don't get a money bonus or anything like that. You'll just get the yacht captain outfit if you've obviously completed them as the host. Now, the yacht missions, they were incredibly fun, especially the 5th mission, or just one of the missions, Bond Voyage, obviously, which is obviously reminiscent to me of All Hands on Deck from Vice City, where you protect your yacht when the power goes off and they try to, because you're in the middle of a storm. In general, I found them very fun, and it's obviously Rockstar's convoluted approach to, just contact missions in general, just like with DLCs, they're a lot more complex, and being able to obviously utilize interiors or any source. Even though the yacht missions, that's not really the case, because it's kind of naval, sea based, a lot of them. So that's kind of the thing. But I thought they were really fun, and obviously it's just like all other contact missions. Not many people are going to play them after once the double money ends, because usually when they first come out, double money is usually they usually are double money. So that's just the way it is with contact missions, and that's it. And I would say these were pretty fun. Now, the other thing is, we got 15 new vehicles. This was completely different from all the other DLCs, for a long time. There's no drip feed cars, so we get 15 cars. The cars, I gotta say, are great, just like the casino heist. But one addition is the return of Benny's. It's been ages, but I think Rockstar had to do stuff like this just to even captivate the player's interest again. Because, come on, let's face it, Benny's hasn't been out for ages. The last time Benny had an update was an import-export update, and this was only just for the sake of that. This was a filler update, and obviously, how else were they going to fucking advertise this update? Come on, not many people are really stoked up on the idea of a filler update that basically shit you can get bored of in one day. But I appreciate that. It's kind of returned to its classic glory. It's kind of like how it first came out, kind of more centered around basically classic cars, lowriders, vans, and shit like that, which I think they were pretty cool. Especially the Peyote and the Manana, they needed it. Especially those cars needed it the most, since these were not in the muscle car classes, they were in the sports classic cars class. So basically they couldn't fucking wheelie, unlike the Tornado Hot Rod, which was an exception, I believe. I mean, that was nice. I think they were cool, and definitely the Indy cars, they're alright. Obviously, I'm not really into racing cars, but I guess I'll just say they're cool and all. People are really, they usually go mad for these wacky vehicles, but yeah. And we've obviously got two new, we got one new supercar, the Tiger, which is obviously the Lamborghini supercar from the advert, from the screenshot of the of the article in 24th of July when they were announcing about what's going on with the games. It's a pretty chill car. The first ever supercar Lamborghini has in this game, and obviously we got a new supercar, sports car, which I'm driving, the the Coquette D10, which is obviously based on the Corvette C8, which actually came out this year, which is fucking awesome. It's a beautiful car, by the way. And yeah, and we obviously got like the welcomed edition of a new Japanese JDM car is always welcomed by so many fans, especially the delusional people who keep thinking that Rockstar should keep do a Tuners and Outlaws, even though I don't think it's going to be a very totally inadequate structured update, but you know. So we got the Penumbra FF, so that's basically of the late 90s Eclipse GSX, which is obviously, you know, it was in it's a cult classic. It was in Fast and Furious 1, and it was in Need for Speed Underground and shit like that. And you know, I always welcome new cars, even though I'm not a really big advocate for Japanese cars, to be honest with you. But you know, and the only thing is that they're kind of expensive. And we also got some new cars like the Landstalker XL, the BF Club, which is based off like the old style VW Golf, you know, GTI, which is chill. And we obviously got the Seminole Frontier, which I obviously don't really care about two fucks about, and you know. And we've got the Yosemite Ranch, so we got another like retro custom as well, so we kind of basically have the Rancher in the game now, which is awesome. I mean, that's a classic from Vice City. So yeah, and yeah, I think the cars were pretty damn cool for what they were. And we obviously got 15 cars and they weren't drip fed, unlike the other DLCs from the last couple of years, so that's cool. So obviously there was no additions to Warstock Cash and Carry, thank God, because I just don't want to see that website come up, because I'm sick of military vehicles. Even though we haven't had a military vehicle since the nightclub update, and I'm fucking happy. No more military shit, and Rockstar should keep it like this. I'm sick of it. I don't even want a naval update. I'm sick of that shit. So yeah, that's good. That's good. That's absolutely fucking good. So we obviously got that, and Solomon, yes. As always, you know, this is one thing I obviously always want to see from the casino update going forward, is obviously new collectibles. So obviously we got the 10 movie props. So essentially we do a scavenger quest for Solomon, and essentially how it begins is like my controller, for fuck's sake, he sends us a message and he tells us to come down to his movie store. And no, it's not any cutscenes or anything like that. It's just like, you'll be able to go inside his office and you'll see like you'll be able to see police barricades, police signs, and essentially his movie studio has been robbed and people have robbed his movie props, which is obviously you've got to find them scattered through the city, which obviously 7 of them are in fixed location, 3 of them are completely random. I think these were fun. Obviously these are cool. I like them. They're kind of like the casino ones more specifically, because obviously you get an outfit rather than unlocking a heist member, which with the Signal Jammers you obviously got RV Schwartzman, and that was nice. I enjoyed these, and obviously I want Rockstar to add them with every single update, even if they're like not a so called big update like this one, which is obviously a filler update. So yeah, that's cool. And yeah, I think I've talked. Obviously they've added new adversary modes to the casino, which is cool, but obviously I cannot formulate a proper opinion of how, if it really fits the playstyle of the game modes within the casino interiors, because obviously I'm not a PvP player and I don't play none of that shit. And they've obviously added new business battles to like the aircraft carrier, and I forgot there was another place they added it, but they've at the chicken factory as well, which, you know, is cool as well. Like I like it. I love it when Rockstar utilizes interiors or adds new interiors. Like I love that of Rockstar. I mean, it just makes the game more, I guess, immersive. Why is my controller doing this? And yeah, and they've obviously, one good thing about this update is like they should, and I'm glad they've done it, even though that this obviously was a filler update and obviously they would have no new property, is being able to own up to 8 apartments and houses, which is good. So I obviously brought Suite 1 for the Eclipse Penthouse, and I brought Hangman Avenue because it has the best pull, better than Wild Oats Drive, and you know, I appreciate that now, and it gives 20 plus new slots if you decide to get too high. For me it'll be only 16, and funny enough I've used all my garage slots, so I've consumed all of them, and you know, all my car list is full as again. Because like just with some cars, you know, if you're a car collector, you'll have different bills. Like for me, I love muscle cars the best, so I have like a street build and then a lowrider build and clean, but you know, yada yada yada, shit like that. So that was cool. Now, I'm going to talk about what I think about this update. Obviously, you don't have high expectations, just like with the options. Do not have high expectations of this update, given how the way Rockstar phrased things in the article back in the 24th. Obviously, this was just a fun, diverse mix of stuff. They obviously talked more about the December update than the upcoming summer update, which is obviously going to be the new heist entirely location. Obviously, I'm not going to talk too much about that. That's for another video. I'll probably talk that later on. I don't know whenever. I mean, we're still months away from the next update. Obviously, we have to wait less for an update, but yeah. So I think it was all right for an filler update. It was actually pretty good because obviously we got new arcade cabinets and all. I think it was pretty complex. It's definitely much better than the filler updates before, but obviously I cannot rate this higher than like a 7 due to the fact that it's a filler update, and also we've waited 8 months for this, so that's that, unfortunately. But you know, save if any bashes you got, any criticisms you got, just keep it in your head. Just keep it in your head, because we do not know how big the next update is, and I hope it is. If the next update is total shit, then we can just like question Rockstar what the fuck they were doing this shit. Obviously, I understand they have the whole pandemic, the whole coronavirus shit is going on, but like, you know, it still doesn't excuse other game developers frequently releasing DLC content for other games like Warzone, from what I've heard about the controversial topic. And you know, they've obviously added new arcade games, like they've added Cubed and Axis Fury, which I welcome. You know, Cubed, that's a classic, because obviously you had to 100% complete win Cubed in order to 100%. One of the objectives for 100% for GTA 4. So that was cool. What else is there to fucking talk about with this update? And obviously there's been talks about this update that this was going to be the Cops and Crooks update. Now I still think some of the evidence is a bit kind of skeptical. Like, I think the ones that kind of stuck out to me was like the new sirens, but you never know what that could be. That could probably be for something else. Now, don't say it's definitely Cops and Crooks. Don't fully say that, because you never know. Because the guy who I forgot his name who leaked it, he just said this could potentially possibly be for cops, but didn't say it is. It could be for another car that have sirens, like an ambulance, some shit, I don't know. And there was like some blips that people were showing, but the police cars, the thing was, they were used in like already like the Young Ancestor prep, I think it was, and in the Miss Baker missions. So I don't know, it's kind of skeptical. And the police stations, like, just they were kind of used for business battles, so be very skeptical about the whole I don't even know still. I'm still skeptical about it. I just hope it's not, because then, just like how we laughed in their faces about, oh my god, I don't want to get around, all that shit. I don't know, man. Everyone just thinks, oh my god, that's Cops and Crooks. Like, not necessarily. You need to look at other examples and all, like, not all necessarily. Like how Jan released that artwork, and it was an old artwork, and he says this may not be Cops Crooks, and people are saying, oh no, this is a cop car, so it's definitely Cops and Crooks. Like, not necessarily. I think people are just very naive in that sense. They just want to believe it. They're just really keen on the whole idea of Cops and Crooks. Also, with new cars, I forgot to mention is that they've added new street wheels. So this kind of borrows from like Benny's lowrider car rims, and like even other stock rims from like the Trifade cars that you can add to your car. And you can be able to actually add new wheel types. Like, you don't have to have those same atomic fucking tires. You can actually have like Chappelle, like you can essentially have the F1 cars, but they're obviously not as thick. But you can have those on your cars, like how everyone was doing the merge glitch before. That's cool. The only thing I wish is that there was a chrome option, but you know, I mean, I welcome that. Anything to benefit the car community, like, why not? I mean, that's something good at least for them. So yeah. So anyways, guys, that's kind of it, in my opinion. I would say this update was pretty good for a filler update. Obviously, it's not an amazing update because this is a filler update and all, but let's just wait and see what they got in plan for it, and then we can talk about this whole thing in the much bigger picture in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, that's it, guys. Please like, please subscribe, and fucking peace.